Good evening. I'm Winston and this is Twisted Nerves Painting. I'm not sure my music is working. I might have to actually take this off here. Unfortunate. Let's see. Good evening. If I can fix this. I'm Winston and this is Twisted Nerves Painting. I'm not sure my music is working. I might have to actually take this off here. Unfortunate. Let's see. Good evening. If I can fix this. I'm Winston and this is Twisted Nerves Painting. I'm not sure my music is working. I might have to actually take this off here. Unfortunate. Let's... I'm not sure my music is working. I might have to actually that didn't work. This off here. Unfortunate. Let's... Oh, here we go. I'm not sure my music is working. I might no, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. This off here. Unfortunate. Okay, I think I've just got background music now. There we go. Maybe I made this too complex. Well, hopefully the music will work. And that'll give us something to paint to. This should be mostly some relaxing stuff that I found on YouTube. Some of it might be electronic music, but most of it is relatively calming, I hope. I didn't want to get too relaxed on you. Good evening, Silver. I'm glad you could join me. Actually, let's go with glue to start. How are you doing this evening? this is just isopropyl alcohol and white glue. And a drop of water. Good evening, David. I'm glad you could make it. Just gonna layer on a little bit of this stuff. This concoction seems to dry relatively clear and without gloss, which is the big bonus. Got a little bit of the back half of the bass last time, so going for the front this time. Alright, where did I put that? There we go. Excellent. Dangerous Pepper, how are you doing? I hope you had a good day. Let's see what we get if we just let gravity do some of the work here. There we go. I don't actually have a leaf punch. I did it with a pair of scissors and a scalpel. And this is just straight isopropyl alcohol, which will create capillary action and pull the glue up to the top and seal all the little bits of paper down. I used brown paper from a shopping bag. And then I painted it. Different yellows. Did one nice red. A couple of them different browns to get the different colors you'd see in a nice mat of dead leaves. Get a couple of them out of there. Gotta leave room for the metal tab on the end of the base. These old metal ones. Have the great little slaughter bases. Which is why I left the slot in the top of the base there. So that he can have a little home to sit in there. There we go. I'm just bit by bit, front to back, back to front, adding layer after layer to get three-dimensional look. And that is about all I will put on that for right now. So this is what I have been looking forward to painting. These Battletech miniatures. This is the Crusader mech. And I am going to start by giving it a zenithal shot with some gray, kind of at an angle, so it catches light, almost like the light bouncing off of it right there, right as it sits. I want to try and capture that in grays to simulate the light reflecting off of it. Or at least the start of it. I've heard that there are leaf punches, and that does sound like it would be an awfully useful thing. I have not, however, ever used one. Always just cut them out myself. Which gets it done, I guess. One of these days, I will probably get one. That would be awfully useful. see, we've got AK Basalt Gray here. I can't wait to see the freehands you put on those panels. I think that would be the funnest part about painting a night, is all those big panels you can do fun stuff with. I've got a big Storm Raven gunship I want to put a pinup girl on. I think that'd look really cool. Oh, looks like we got disconnected for a split second there. Doesn't look like I'm dropping frames though. So we will continue. Alright. This is airbrush thinner plus about 5% flow improver. Put a few drops in. Let some of it shoot through the nozzle. And then I put in what I would need. For the mix I'm going to use. Hopefully my connection is staying solid here. Oh, hello. Do I already have a clog? do have a clog. Of course. And I had condensation. That sounds really awesome, Silver. I think that is going to look so cool. I cannot wait to see how that turns out. Alright. Let's see if I can get rid of this clog and continue on with some gray. Air getting in behind things. That's not good. Oh, that's a great idea. I would not have even thought of doing that. I bet that'd work. Wow. Pool decals. Very cool. I'm going to mute this for just a couple of moments so that you don't have to listen to the compressor. Okay, I think I fixed the problem. We will see. I think that my problem was moisture in the compressor, which is a giant pain in the butt, because then you get water up your air hose. Didn't realize it was that kind of channel, did you? Yes, water up the air hose. Not a good time. Okay. Hopefully I've got the right consistency going here. Looks like it. But I did not fix the problem, as I was hoping I had. There we go. That is all the gray I need. I will bring the rest of the highlights up with edge highlighting and dry brush. The details on these mechs are so tiny. Ooh, that Goliath mini is probably a really cool looking one. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I really love the look of the new stuff that I've seen. I've really got to get more. There we go. I'm just going to pull this apart for now and let these pieces soak in the isopropyl alcohol for just a little bit. Yeah, I always loved those four-legged mechs. The Scorpion was my favorite one. That thing just looked goofy. And of course, I forgot to bring Q-tips with me. That figures. Three-legged mechs. How would that even work? A three-legged mech. That sounds like the start of a joke. A three-legged mech. A battle master, a Goliath, and a three-legged mech walk into a bar. Super heavies over 100 tons. Well, I always did like the Atlas and the King Crab. So yeah, give me those big super heavies. Or a Cyclops. That's another one I need to find. I need to find a Cyclops. That was another really crazy looking mech. All right. Just get a few of these parts cleaned off, and I can set this aside for later. You just don't want to let anything get gummed up in the nozzles. There we go. just a nice faint coating of gray along the top edges and top panels of the armor. Nice little start to some nice shiny black looking. I have decided I am definitely painting them up as New Avalon Cavaliers. So, yeah, black with yellow. Start to steady my hands here. Just breathe rhythmically. Inhale all the way as far as you can. Exhale all the way. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and then exhale about halfway and hold it. Of course, don't hold it for too long. You don't want to pass out or anything. It's about relaxing, not falling over. Just kind of lose yourself in the process. Forget the stress of your day. Just be present in the moment. You and your paintbrush and your giant monster fighting robot. I do hope the music is enjoyable. I listened to quite a bit of this, but I'll admit I didn't listen to every track all the way through. I was was hoping to find something that would be relaxing and help focus. Really, the music I paint to depends on what sort of focus I'm looking for. If I want to get a lot of work done, I'll put on some dance music, like some Housequake. Or Dr. Funk. Love me some Dr. Funk. Or Bennett. I like the beats, the big drops. Music like that just kind of gets me moving and painting and working. But occasionally it's nice to just go all zen and lose yourself in your painting. It's been so long since I painted one of these. They're so much more detailed than they used to be. I mean, not that I would diminish those old Rel Partha figures. I loved those. But some of them just didn't look as nice as these plastic ones do. Another one I like to listen to while I'm painting, anything by Basil Poldoris is excellent for painting. I could just listen to the theme song from the whole soundtrack to Conan the Barbarian again and again and again and again. Hugh Gedney, how are you, man? I'm glad you could make it. I've even got a Battletech miniature. How awful is that? I'm not even getting my Warhammer on over here, man. No, one of my Patreon members sent these to me, so thank you again to Dangerous Pepper for the awesome Battletech squad. These are a riot to paint. Yeah, there's something about Basil Poldoris's music that just, yeah. The soundtrack to Starship Troopers. just going to go along here, and every surface that's pointing upwards, I'm going to give a little edge highlight of basalt gray. Well, it's good to be off work. I hope it was a relatively tolerable day at work. Good night, Silver. I hope you're feeling better. That definitely sounds like you had a rough day, man. Hey, Skunk Paw. I'm feeling pretty good today. I hope you're doing well. I am working on these Battletech miniatures that Dangerous Pepper sent me. Still a matter of just finding the right spot on my painting table to paint so that it's in the full view of the camera and doesn't get lost. I'm gonna have to put some tape or something down on the desk, so I've got like a box I've got to keep my hands in. That might help. don't know if there's a lot of recent lore about Team Bonsai. I'd be interested. That's not a bad idea. A mat of some sort with a design. I went with the plain one here for now because I just wanted to make a nice black background. Get everything to show up nicely. Hey, awesome. You have a good night, man. I'm glad you could stop in. There we go. The Warhammer Fantasy End Times. I gotta say, I haven't read a lot of the lore on it. I took a big break from painting and gaming for a good long time there. I was unable to paint for quite a while, and I just kind of stopped playing and painting altogether. I'd say it was, sometime in the 90s. I want to say it was around 3rd edition for 40K. They still had Fantasy Battle at the time. And then when I picked everything back up, about a year or so ago, that was when I first learned of AOS, and that there was no longer a Fantasy Battle. And I had heard about this end of the world, but I hadn't actually read anything, or I haven't really formed an opinion on it, other than I'm not sure why they had to get rid of Fantasy Battle. I rather liked it, but if they feel they can sell minis better with a different game, I guess that's where they were going. I don't know. I have to read more about it. I'm sure that there was fiction to go along with it that I haven't read. I'm kind of excited though. that fantasy's coming back, at least as old world, just to see some of those old figures out again. Oh, it wasn't making much money. Well, then I can kind of understand why they would do it. I'll have to pick up a bunch of those books. I've seen them for sale here and there at used bookstores locally. So I might actually be able to score some of them for a decent price. No, that makes sense, because when I stopped playing Fantasy Battle, I had pretty much had the same army for years. And yeah, I didn't really change it all that much. So I could see where they weren't selling new miniatures. I mean, they do sell miniatures. That is kind of the whole bag they got. I do love some of the AOS miniatures. I just never really... The storyline hasn't grabbed me to the point where I really wanted to go out and grab the game. Though I really do love some of those AOS miniatures. I picked up several, but mostly to kit bash 40k stuff. I haven't bought an AOS miniature yet to play AOS. Good start on that. Oh yeah, Primaris. I kind of figured that's what that was when I came back to the game and they had the Primaris Marines. Then you had the Firstborn and the Primaris, and yeah, I could see the scale creep stuff going on. But I don't know. I like the new scale of Terminators.
to jump those up so it looks proper compared to a Primaris Marine. Just kind of works for me. But then again, I'm a sucker for Terminators. I have been since Space Hulk. Alright, let's see here. Continue sketching out the armor on the Terminator. Now the darkest red that I am using on the Terminator here is a mix of AK burnt red with a little bit of AK dark Prussian blue. So you get that deoxygenated blood, sort of dark, deep red. And here I'm just going to start with all the places where I've sketched where the light has hit the black with gray. I'm going to go cover all that gray with this lovely red.
AK is an acrylic paint, but they also have some enamel-based products too. They've got some really good enamel pigments where you've got just this ridiculous amount of really saturated pigment suspended in the enamel solution. And I like them for basing, especially. But they've also got a really neat fluorescent product that is enamel based as well. It's a little tough to work with, though. It's not very forgiving. You can't tell how much you're putting on when it's wet. You get the full effect of the fluorescence when it's dry. So as you're loading it onto a miniature, you can just keep loading it and loading it and loading it, and you don't even realize how much you've loaded in there. I'm glad you stopped in, Hugh. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Yeah, this is their Wargame yellow fluorescent enamel pigment. And it's really bright. It can get super bright. And I have to say, I really appreciate all of you coming and joining me as I paint here. It is really a lot of fun to do this. And it's fun to have people to do it with. Wow, it's really getting windy outside. I'm not looking forward to this cold snap we're about to have. It's going to get really cold here.
Well, one of these days, Dangerous Pepper, I'm gonna have to come down there. Not that Texas is my favorite place to go, but there are some nice places in Texas. It's been a long time since I've been there. Oh, yeah, speed paints are great for just that speed. You can't beat them for that. If you've got to get 3 colors on an army to get it on the table, contrasts and speed paints, those are the way to go. You will get your stuff done fast. And it'll look pretty good too, because those contrasts are really nice paints actually. Hang on just a moment here. I'm going to get myself something to drink. I'll be right back. You have a good evening. I will hopefully see you tomorrow in the Miniatures Tavern. Let's see, where was I? There we go. Yes, this is kind of a dark red on a black background. It's a little difficult to see it right away. But as I start adding the next layers on, it will become more and more apparent. Because the next layers are going to get brighter and brighter red. Eventually, what I'm hoping to create is a metallic-like effect, just with a gradient of different reds with black as the contrast. Eventually, what I'm going to do is put red ink into the airbrush, and I'm going to cover the whole thing in the red ink and tint everything so that all the different grades of color blend together.
Good evening, honey bunny. I'm glad you could make it. And I completely understand, David. It is late.
Yeah, these Terminator suits were always my favorite. That original Space Hulk game was just so much fun when I was a kid. Actually, it is the roll from plastic wrap. Your common plastic wrap from the kitchen. After you've used all the plastic wrap, it is the perfect diameter to fit a champagne cork into the top of. Take a hammer, pound it in there a little so it's nice and tight and it's not coming out again. And then you can use that to peg any of your feet and fix them down onto this like a miniature holder. It's cheap, but it's totally reusable again and again. Great way to save garbage from the landfill. The other one I use a lot is, pill bottles, because they're just useful. Yes, not at all sponsored by Saran Wrap. Now, it's not that I don't like the miniature holders that are out there on the market. There's a bunch of really good ones. I'm just cheap. I'll admit it. I could spend... God, I don't even know how much Games Workshop wants for one of their miniature holders anymore. I could spend that. Or I could make a miniature holder. Yep. Med bottles are perfect. Double-sided tape works. Clean tack is also really awesome. And that makes a nice airbrush mask too sometimes. Just like this guy's bass on a med bottle. My microphone volume or the music volume? I could see if my volume trailed off a little. I kind of pointed myself away from the microphone for a moment. You know, there were a couple of these pieces of music that reminded me of Vangelis as well. And it's kind of why I picked this stuff. It just has that like ambient. I mean, it's soothing and calming. And weird and eerie all at the same time. I like it. Calm, but kind of dark. Which kind of fits the 40K universe perfectly. Well, dark anyway. Not so calm. And yeah, that Blade Runner soundtrack was really iconic and amazing. I'm not trying to cover up all of the black, just like 80% of it or so. And then I'll take deep red and cover about 80% of this dark red. And then I'll lighten it up even more and hit just the centers of the red before it, just to build up all those reflections. slowly starting to cover the gray up with the red. Yeah, I'm starting to like where that gray is going. Speaking of gray, need a little bit. Right there. Trying to give this the look of worn asphalt. So I am going to use a couple different variants of gray. And I am going to stipple it on with this evil little creation, which is soft packing foam stuffed into the end of a brush cap. When you stipple with it, you get a nice uneven look. Or at least, that's what I'm going for. I will want to use a couple different grays in order to really sell the effect nicely. this is starting to look like a Minnesota road in spring. This is smoke black that I'm now using. Same effect before, just using the little sponge as a dabbing device. This will calm a little of that basalt gray. But it's not quite as black as the primer, which is the black underneath all of it. Smoke black is doing exactly what I had hoped it would. And then this is tenebrious gray, or it will be if it comes out of the tube. There we go. Another one of these colors that's close to black, but not quite.
Well, thank you for joining us, Honey Bunny. I'm glad you stopped in. And I hope you enjoy your dinner. I'm just going to rotate this here and there as I tappity tap around, creating an uneven looking surface. Yeah, there we go. That's really starting to look like nice broken up concrete and asphalt. I love it. Holy cow, what happened to this bottle? Wow. Oh, it's split. What the heck? Oh my god. I've never seen one of these do that. That's kind of crazy.
There we go. Started by painting the skull on the ground in leather brown. And then I will layer up lighter browns all the way to like a dark bone. Well, I think that this might wind up being where I call it an evening, as it's getting hard to sit here. I've got to get up and move a little bit. I've been sitting for a few hours straight. And as my doctor said, that's really not good for me. But oh well. So, please like and share my channel with your crafty friends and your nerdy friends. And check out my Patreon at Twisted Nerves Painting. And this holiday season, if you are able to be so kind as to join me on Patreon and help support my work, I would truly appreciate that. I value every one of my subscribers and my members, and I thank you all. Have a great evening. Stay safe and healthy.